Hey, this is Jared, and this is my manga update for manga I got in January. I haven't finished every manga I've gotten this month, but I did most of them. So first I'll just mention the ones I haven't finished yet. One is Tech on Concrete, Black and White. It's a pretty thick volume. It's just one volume. The whole series is just in this. I picked it up because I heard really good things about it. I just pretty much started it, so I can't really give an opinion if the story is really great or not. The artwork is different. I've never seen artwork like this. The style, at least, in a manga. I don't know if you can really tell. But so far, it's okay. Just gonna have to wait and see. It's a very big volume. I mean, look at the size of this thing. I've never had a manga volume like this huge. At least not in softcover. So, yeah, it's pretty interesting. It's gonna be hard to place it in my shelf somewhere, but I'll find a spot. Alright. The other one I haven't read yet is Triage X Volume 11. But I think that's okay because my opinion on the series doesn't really change. It's just mindless action. It's fun, but I don't expect it to get amazing or anything like that. So it is what it is. If you have any interest at all in the series, pick it up. But I don't know if it's gonna get better or worse or whatever. So far, it's just it's fun. So yeah, Triage X Volume 11. Next is Akame ga Kill Volume 5. It's a great volume. I love the story. I love the characters and everything like that. They really do a good job at showing just how evil the empire is that they're trying to take over. Man, there's one chapter in the back that is a special chapter. It's not one of the main chapters, and it is one of the most messed up things I've read in a manga. Mainly because usually messed up things like this happen in seinen mangas where the art is realistic, but in this, like, everything is like cutesy anime girls. So when some really messed up stuff happens, it's like, damn. So yeah, it was really sad. But overall, it's a great story, and I'm still really liking it a lot. So yeah, can't wait for the next volume. Next is One Punch Man Volume 4. My opinion on One Punch Man has really changed. I mean, at first I thought it was just okay, the first two volumes. But Volume 3 is when the story actually started picking up, and I'm really liking it now. I really like this volume a lot. This guy was really cool. And yeah, I can see why people really like One Punch Man. I even seen some episodes of the show, and that's even more amazing because seeing it in animation is incredible. So yeah, whether you read it or watch it, you should really check out One Punch Man. It's actually really good. Next is Nisekoi Volume 13. Yeah, like I've said before, it's an enjoyable harem, even though I don't really care for harems that much. I was a little disappointed because now another girl has feelings for the main character. I know that's the whole point of harems, but each time a new girl gets added, that's just another girl that's going to get disappointed. Because let's face it, he's not going to end up with all of them. He's going to either choose one or zero, and that's just disappointing. Harems rarely have a good ending. So, yeah, but overall, I still enjoy the story. It's still fun. And it does get a little frustrating because you just want them to hurry up and pick someone, but if they do that, then the series is over, I guess. So, what can you do? It's a love-hate relationship with these kind of mangas, but I still say if you're gonna read a harem, this is one that you should check out because it's a lot of fun. So, Nisekoi Volume 13. Next is Naruto, the Seventh Hokage and the Scarlet Spring, which is a spin-off of Naruto. It takes place after the final volume of Naruto, and it's just about Naruto and his kid and all of the other characters' kids. It's just about them. And I enjoyed it. It's just one volume. It's not a series, but it was a good volume. I'm glad they continued it. A lot of people kind of rolled their eyes when they saw that Naruto's still continuing after the final volume. And it's like, oh, just let the series die. Well, I don't know. I kind of thought that, but I enjoyed this volume for what it was. And I heard that a new series is starting all about Naruto's son Boruto. And if this is a preview of what it's going to be like, then I'm fine with it. I got nothing against the new series starting. So the only really problem I have is the bad guys in the new series must be pretty freaking ridiculous because Naruto and Sasuke and Sakura are all like godlike. I mean, they're so unbelievably powerful that like how do you go from here? But other than that, it's something I look forward to. So this was a good volume. If you like Naruto and collected the whole series, then you really should just pick up this volume. You know, it's a great addition. Next is A Silent Voice, Volume 5. I've said before, it's a very interesting comic about a deaf girl and the guy trying to make up for picking on her when they were younger. It's a nice story. It does have sad moments, and you feel really bad for both these characters, you know, what she has to go through. And this guy, man, like, his mistake in the past has really messed him up, but I don't know, it's heartwarming, it's nice to see. I thought this would be the final volume, but apparently there's 7 volumes, not 5, so I messed up in that. But yeah, 2 more volumes, and I'm not disappointed at all. I look forward to the last 2 volumes, but it's a really great story, and you should really check it out. Next is Prophecy 1, 2, and 3, the complete series. I don't know why they didn't just release a big omnibus, but whatever. It's just about a computer hacker. He's a terrorist, him and a group of people, and they use the internet to do stuff. Very, cyber terrorist. It's very modern day kind of crime story. The detective is searching for them. Overall, it was really good. I liked it. I'm glad it was only 3 volumes because the story really couldn't have gone beyond that. It would have dragged on. So luckily they concluded it in just 3 volumes. And yeah, I wasn't disappointed with it. If you like crime stories and you like things like that, detective TV shows, then this is actually pretty enjoyable. The pages are actually really great quality. The paper, this company, I always forget which company this is, Vertical Comics, they always release very high quality paper for their mangas, so that's really good. Same company that releases Ajin, which also has very nice quality paper. So yeah, that's all I can say about that. Next is Satoshi Kon's Opus. Satoshi Kon is a very famous illustrator and writer in manga and anime. His most famous work is animated movies, Paprika and Tokyo Godfathers, which are both really good. You should check out. And this was his last manga before he passed away. And it's just about a mangaka and how his manga kind of comes to life and he gets dragged into that world. If you ever seen that old movie Cool World, it's pretty much kind of like that, only Cool World sucked, but this story is actually really good. And the sad thing is the mangaka Satoshi, he died before he finished this manga. And it's all compiled into this 1 volume. But even though it's not finished, it's still worth picking up. It's actually a really good story. And years later after he died, they actually found a new chapter. It was just a rough draft chapter, but it kind of told where the story was going and kind of showed how it was going to end. So they included in here, just perfect rough draft. And it was actually very conclusive in my opinion. It kind of showed where the story was going to go, and I never felt too disappointed. I really wish I could have seen how it ended, but he passed away. But overall, that doesn't mean you should not pick it up. It's actually worth picking up. It's a really good story, and I highly recommend it. Next is Lone Wolf and Cub, Volume 11, the second to last volume. The next one definitely is the last volume. So I'll finally be done with the series and finally start reading the sequel series, New Lone Wolf and Cub. It's still a great series, amazing artwork, story. Man, the amount of honor like the Japanese people had, it's crazy. But yeah, it's really interesting to learn about Japanese history, and I can see where the story's gonna go from here. Like, it's really near the end, you can tell it's ending. And yeah, I can't wait to read the last volume after this one. So Lone Wolf and Cub, definitely highly recommend. Great episodic manga, worth purchasing. Next is A Certain Scientific Accelerator, the spin-off to Certain Scientific Railgun, which is one of my favorite mangas. The story is all about Accelerator, who was a bad guy in the first series, And so far, it's good. It's enjoyable. You know, not as good as Railgun, of course, but it's still a good series. My only problem is I do not know where to place this volume. I know it takes place after the sixth volume of Railgun, but after that, I have no idea where it's placed. But yeah, so if you've read the first 6 volumes of Railgun, then check out Accelerator. It's actually a good story. It's interesting to have an anti-hero like Accelerator be the main character. But yeah, definitely check this out if you like Railgun. If you haven't read Railgun, definitely read that first. There's no point in reading this if you haven't read Railgun. Next is A Certain Magical Index, Volume 4, which is the original main series of that whole saga. Railgun is a spin-off of Index, and then Accelerator is a spin-off of Railgun. But unlike Accelerator where you have to read Railgun, you don't have to read Index to read Railgun. So, and I think Railgun's better. This original series Index is enjoyable, but it's not as good in my opinion. Right now, Volume 4 is pretty much the clone arc of Railgun. So Volume 6 of Railgun is this Volume 4 of Index. So yeah, it's pretty much retelling the same story, but through the eyes of this guy, who's just a side character in Railgun, but is the main character of this. And yeah, I can't really talk too much about this because it's pretty much just a retelling of a story I've already read. But after this volume, it should get into a whole new story arc because this guy doesn't really show up that much after the Clone Saga. So I can only, say that it's enjoyable. If you really like Railgun, then you should check out Index and see where the whole story started. But other than that, yeah, not much to say until a new story arc starts up. And last is Terraformers Volume 10. Every time I read this, I get lost because the plot is so politics and each country wanting to take over something. But the fights with the cockroaches is still very entertaining, and I love seeing all the different transformations the characters go through with their terraforming and stuff like that. It's all really cool. Another problem I have with this manga is there's so many characters, and I just lose track of who's who. And I'm sure if I just read chapters back to back, it would be easy. But I get a volume every 2 or 3 months, and then I just gotta try and remember. But other than that, it's still really enjoyable. I've said before, the first volume is still the best volume, just one story in one volume. But that doesn't mean the rest of the series is bad. It's still very enjoyable. So yeah, I don't know where the series is gonna go from here. I'm guessing it's just going to keep going until one country is left because everyone just keeps getting wiped out. So, yeah, very cool stuff though. You learn a lot about insects in this manga, I'll tell you that much. They do a very good job describing the insects and other creatures that they terraform from. So, if you like biology, there you go. But yeah, Terraformers Volume 10. And that's it for this month, and I'll be posting my pickups for February in the next video. Thanks for watching.